You're listening to the Astromommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the Astromommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the Astromommy newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Pluto stations retrograde and Mercury Cazimi. Daily horoscopes for Monday and Tuesday, May 1st through the 2nd, 2023. Good morning, friends. Rabbit, rabbit. That's what my first astrology teacher, David Palmer, the Leo King, always says on the first of every month for good luck. So there you go. Today is a big day because Pluto is stationing retrograde in Aquarius. On top of that, Mercury retrograde will conjoin the Sun for his Cazimi moment, which marks a time during the retrograde when Mercury is said to be on the lap of the king, so it's an empowering moment in the retrograde cycle. The moon is in Virgo for Monday and will move into Libra on Tuesday, so there's a lot going on. Okay, let's get into the astrology. On Monday, Pluto, the planet of transformation and irrevocable change, will station retrograde at 1:08 p.m. Eastern Time. This means that over the next 6 months, we will be reviewing the deep internal changes that are taking place in our lives. If Pluto represents digging into the soil, turning it over to reveal what needs to change and what hidden gems were buried beneath the surface, then the retrograde period is like going back over the freshly excavated soil to make sure we didn't miss anything. The moon on Monday will perfect a square to Venus in Gemini right after Pluto stations retrograde, but a few hours before Mercury conjoins the Sun. The moon in Virgo and Venus in Gemini are both intimately linked to Mercury right now, since they are all in mutual reception relationships with each other. The moon is in Virgo, which is Mercury's home and exaltation, and Mercury is in the moon's exaltation sign of Taurus. Venus is in Gemini, Mercury's home, and Mercury is in Taurus, Venus's home. So all three celestial bodies are supporting each other and are going to get a boost when Mercury is Cazimi today. The moon in Virgo is practical, realistic, and a doer. Venus in Gemini is curious, youthful, and easily distracted. When Venus is in Gemini, we can expect to hear more news, have more conversations, and have the desire to exchange our ideas with more people. So when the moon forms a square to Venus, we can feel like actions need to be made concerning Venusian and lunar things. So our habits, lifestyles, aesthetics, and what we do to make things more beautiful may come to light today. Since the square is the nature of Mars, there could be disharmony, moodiness, and conflicts in relationships. Mercury retrograde will conjoin the Sun at 7:27 p.m. Eastern Time at 11 degrees Taurus, 19 minutes, as you can see in the chart below. Mercury will hit 17 minutes of arc away from the Sun at 3:11 p.m. Eastern Time. According to the late Renaissance astrologer William Lilly, a planet is Cazimi when it is within 17 minutes of arc before or after the Sun. The Cazimi period is a time of great power, insight, and regality. Mercury is on the lap of the king for a moment and enjoys having full power to say what he needs to, deliver the messages he means to, and enjoy clarity of thought and a calm environment. When a planet is combust, the Sun, meaning that it is within 8.5 degrees before or after the Sun, minus the 17 minutes of arc when it is Cazimi, of course, it is said to be burned up, unseen by the rays of the Sun and unable to exert its influence. We can't see a planet that is so close to the Sun because the light of the Sun obviously blocks all planets from our view during the day. The only celestial body that we can sometimes see during the day is the moon. You can see in the chart above, the Sun, Mercury, and Uranus all co-present together in Taurus in the 7th house. While Mercury is in the heart of the Sun, Uranus is combust. I erected this chart for Washington, D.C. in the USA. The moon in Virgo is in a partile opposition to Neptune in Pisces, which will become exact at 7:52 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday night. The moon is also in the 11th house of friends, allies, and wishes, and Neptune is in the 5th house of pleasures, children, and creativity. The 11th house was also said to be the joy of Jupiter, and the 5th house the joy of Venus by ancient astrologers. But the opposition speaks of strain, polarity, and give and take between the two energies. Moon opposite Neptune can represent feeling uncertain, confused, or deceived. There could be sadness or grief involving feelings towards an important woman in your life, or there could be separation from one's mother, as well as the desire to seek out pleasures that help one escape from the realities that they are experiencing. I feel that since this opposition is happening at the exact moment of the Mercury Cazimi, and also on the same day as Pluto stationing retrograde, this represents deep feelings coming to the surface that gain some sort of momentary clarity and require a decision to be made. It's like coming up for air after a deep swim in the ocean. You have to come up to the surface to breathe, right? You can't stay down in the surreal depths forever. The reality is that humans breathe air, not water. So whatever is coming up today, it could be a reality check, and it may have to do with relationships, feelings, and important women in your life. Tuesday. On Tuesday, the moon will ingress into the sign of Libra at 2:08 a.m. Eastern Time. The moon in Libra brings our relationships into view, how we socialize, and how we balance our personal needs with the needs of those we care for. Libra is ruled by Venus and also by Saturn, who is exalted in Libra, so there is the desire to have a good time, connect with people, and conversate. But there is also an emphasis on fairness, equality, and justice. Libra is a fun-loving and social sign, but also diplomatic, ethical, and an advocate for peace. Once the moon makes her entrance into Libra, she will immediately form a trine to Pluto in Aquarius retrograde. I don't care for Moon-Pluto aspects, but a trine is a harmonious aspect said to be the nature of Jupiter, and so that makes it much better. Moon-trine Pluto means that there could be intense feelings, emotional transformations, and meaningful experiences that are on the positive side. What's interesting is that the Sun forms a semi-square to Neptune, and the Moon forms several quincunxes on Tuesday, so there's the feeling that there is something coming up that is uncomfortable, but not quite manifesting yet. The Sun semi-square Neptune can represent things almost happening, but there are delays that are frustrating, and this could be something involving your mission, your health, or your ambitions. Plans can be thwarted by the fog of Neptune or the draining of vital energy. It's like setting out in a boat to go fishing when you realize there's a small hole in the bottom of the boat and you just can't safely go out on the water without fixing it. So something is minorly draining the vital energy on Tuesday. The moon is forming quincunxes to the North Node and Mercury retrograde in Taurus, and also to Saturn in Pisces on Tuesday. So this is like there are destined things that come up that we really don't want to deal with. Things in our environment or serious matters that need our attention, like a hole in our boat, but we'd rather look the other way and ignore them a little longer. With the moon in a trine to Pluto setting the stage for Tuesday, though, it could be that these things we don't want to deal with become a crisis that we have to deal with, and the news comes in fast. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? Son of Swords. On this card, we see a naked man, except for his headdress, shin guards, and cloak. He also has a hilt slung across his hip. He is holding a sword in his right hand and looking to the left. Around his feet are roses, and he carries in his left hand a dead bird. In the background, below a sunny sky and on a green field, is an open treasure chest with strings of jewels spilling out of it. The Son of Swords represents someone who is fickle, extreme, and detached emotionally. It represents swift thinking that cuts off receptive and emotional thought. As the guidance for the day, I feel that this card could represent the scenario I was just describing with the transits of realizing there is some sort of crisis that needs to be dealt with and needing to triage the situation, act quickly and without feeling. Another message from this card is that in this image we see the Son of Swords holding a dead bird, but he already has his sights on the treasure chest behind him, symbolizing that he may throw away the sustenance and food that he has just attained in search of shinier trinkets, but trinkets cannot feed him. I feel that this interpretation speaks to the upcoming lunar eclipse in Scorpio on Friday. This could be a warning to not be so detached from your needs that you throw away your food in search of instant gratification. There are changes occurring in our environments and in our ways of thinking, and although we are mentally ready to move forward, with this Pluto retrograde and Mercury retrograde, we are being urged to go back over things and double-check what we've learned before we actually take those advancing steps. The Mercury Cazimi moment on Monday may offer a lot of clarity. Write down whatever downloads you receive so you can look back over them after the moon opposite Neptune is over. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until Wednesday, Astro Mummy.
Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the Mother Peace Round Tarot, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the Astronomy newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the Astronomy newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmellience, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.